Hey and hello everybody, welcome back to another cozy vlog, or welcome if you're new. I'm Tara. It is unbelievably grey and rainy outside and it is giving me all of the feels, so I'm going to sit here and sip on my cup of tea before we get ready to decorate the house for autumn. Now, most of my things are still at my mum's because we are in rented accommodation. We move into our new house in October, so I didn't really see the point in bringing everything over just to pack and take to the new house anyway. So we're working with what we've got, which I collected basically last year, and we are still yet to go to my favourite garden centre, so you might peep a few new items throughout October that do accidentally slip into my basket. Am I not just wearing the dreamiest autumn cardigan you've ever seen? Thank you to Brummy Mummy of Two, Emma, for pointing out this cardigan. There was one left in the Weston-super-Mare store and I literally drove down to go and find it, and there was one left in my size, so I called that fate. So I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea with my snuggly cardigan and then we'll go and decorate the house. So this is what we're working with. We have a couple of cushions, a couple of signs, some pumpkins. Now, this pumpkin unfortunately did stain a few things last year, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to pop him out anywhere. But there is a mix of stuff here from HomeSense. We've got B&M, Next, the garden centre that I do love. So we're going to see where we can pop this. I'm going to be doing the bedroom here. As you can see, I've already got my autumn duvet on, and then the living room and the kitchen most probably. So I think first things first is that Harold is going to have to stay on the bed with us because he is so soft and snuggly. So Harold is going to get pride of place right there, I think. We know that the pumpkin spice and everything nice is going for the kitchen. That's where that's destined to be. And this is from Next. How adorable. It says, leaves are falling, home is calling. If you're a homebody like me, then this is perfect for you. And this is going above the fireplace on the mantle. And I'm not sure where these two lovely guys are going to go. I think probably the entryway, but I'm hoping that they might have some of their children this year in the garden centre because I got these quite late last year, so fingers crossed we might have a little extra family joining us once we've been. Okie smoky, so I do think these are going to go in the entryway, so we're going to pop them here so they can greet everybody on their way in. We've also got a lovely autumn mat, which I did pick up the other day. You'll have seen in my Shop With Me vlog, which makes a nice change from the ho-ho-ho that we've had for the last couple of years. So that just says hello pumpkin, and I think the two little foxes really complete the entryway. So for the kitchen, we've actually got a couple of bits and pieces in here already, which I will show you, but I think the bits we're going to add, probably keep Mr. Stainy Pumpkin and the white one in here, easily cleanable in the kitchen, and our pumpkin spice and everything nice. I think we'll just pop him up here. Lovely jubbly. And then if you saw my shop with me the other day, you'll have seen these beautiful vases, so I'm going to keep those out as they just make things a little bit more cozy. And then we've got this sign here. I love this sign. It's an apple pie recipe, but I just thought it was so cute, so that stays out as well. Fab. So if I take you, I can show you. So we've got the apple pie there just by the KitchenAid, and we've got a little pumpkin tea bag cozy as well, because I do drink an awful lot of tea. One other thing that I already have in here is this beautiful plate. Now, it is a bit Thanksgiving-y, however, I think it goes with the autumn vibes. So it's got thankful, grateful and blessed on there. 3 things I'm definitely feeling this year. So I think we'll pop these here. The perfect little cozy corner. So over here in this corner, we've got the wine glasses, and that does just appear to be the snack area. And then the apple pie sign on the other side by my KitchenAid, ready to do some autumn baking. I don't know if you can see just how great it is outside, but we do now have some thunder going on. So it really does feel like one of those perfect cozy days. So for the living room, we've got that beautiful neck sign that I showed you earlier. That's going just here on the mantelpiece. I do love that there. Now, ordinarily, I would probably leave this one till closer to Halloween. However, we're hoping to be in our new house by Halloween, so we plan to go straight to Christmas when we get in there because there's no point decorating for a couple of days. So I'm going to make the most of this guy here, and then we'll pop him away when we move. So he's also going on the fireplace. Now, he does get moved when the fireplace is in use. Have no fear, he is wooden. He wouldn't do very well there otherwise. And we have these two plain, beautiful pumpkins. These are actually from Hobbycraft. I have some of these at Mum's as well in varying different colours and sizes, but I just thought these go well with the colour scheme of the living room that we've been given. So these ones take a little pew down by the fireplace also. Perfect. And then I've got this lovely pumpkin cushion from HomeSense, which does go with the cream cushions that are already on the sofa, and that is where this one will reside. Perfect. Let's show you around. So the sofa area, we've got our fantastic burnt orange blanket. I absolutely love that. It's so cozy. We've got the beautiful array of cushions and our pumpkin, and the same on the other side. It is the world's comfiest sofa. We absolutely love it. And then over here on the fireplace, so at the top, that beautiful sign just there, our wedding picture because it's so cute. And then down here, we've got the pumpkins and the ghosts, and I think they look absolutely perfect. So that does leave us with a couple of pumpkins. We've got the harder white and silvery pumpkin and the Mickey pumpkin. So I actually think I'm going to put those on our little shelf that we've got in our main hallway. So I'm going to go grab those and do that, I think. Okay, so these are the guys I've got left. I think I'm going to pop one there and just one there, just to give it a little touch of the autumn cozies to go with our Lego and our wedding flowers. And I thought that that was it, but I've got one more cushion, which is the pumpkin picking cushion, which is this one. And I absolutely love this cushion, but I don't know where to put it. So I think I'm going to leave it with Harold on the bed, and we'll just use it as sort of a throw pillow, as you will for the season. So I pop you where you can see. And I think we'll just give Harold a friend. Perfect. Make that all nice there. This bedding is from Next. It's Catherine Lansford, who I absolutely adore for her bedding. We have some of her Christmas bedding also. So that's it for decorating the house. I did say I don't have too much with me this year because it is all still at Mum's. So next year will be the ultimate fall autumn extravaganza at our new house, and I cannot wait. So stick around for a little bit longer and we're going to do some cozy autumn baking together. So it is a different day now. As you can tell, I'm wearing a different top, and I have gotten rid of the space buns as they were a little impractical for cooking. I'm going to make some brown butter cookies today. I love these. They are an awesome autumn recipe. They just seem extra cozy. That bit of burnt brown butter just adds that beautiful nutty caramelly flavour that everybody loves. So first thing I need to do is brown my butter. So I'm going to do that first, and then I will take you with me as I make the rest of them. But this was my husband's request, and I will take you on some more baking adventures throughout the month. So without further ado, let's get started. So the oven is set to about 160 degrees. It's just warming up. Now I do have a recipe that is in American cups, so it does make it slightly more difficult, but we're going with a cup of butter. So I do have my beautiful cups here that Ben did get me from Disney World when we went in December. So we've got a quarter, a third, a half, and a full. So let's fill this up with butter. Now I do always prefer British recipes that are in actual grams because there's a bit of ambiguity and this butter is really soft. So nobody told the UK that we're in September and actually it's supposed to start getting cold. I suppose there are sort of 2 weeks left of summer, technically. But it's very warm outside. I don't know if the window is doing any favours for that. So I do have more baking to do, so I'm going to keep that for later. Let's just get the butter off the hob because that's not going to do us any wonders, is it? Okie smoky. And then to brown our butter, we just need to put it in here and heat it up until it goes that beautiful nutty smell that we all love. So I'm going to go for a medium-high heat here, more medium than high. Now this is something that you just can't walk away from because it goes from being absolutely perfect to burnt very, very quickly. So it's going to look very unpleasant for a little while until it starts to melt down. So if we grab a couple more bowls, we can start weighing out the rest of the ingredients via cups. Now the one thing I don't understand is that a lot of Americans that post recipes, they didn't seem to have a lot of things that go wrong. But then if you do a recipe with grams and you don't get the grams correct, then it does seem to have a bit of a bigger issue. So plain flour I'm using, which Americans that would be all-purpose flour for you. Don't actually need the weighing scales because we're going to buy cups, Tara. Butter is very slowly melting, but we're just going to leave it to do its thing whilst I watch over it. Now, do we compact it down? Do we just level it off? You'll have to let me know in the comments what the done thing is in America with your cups. Because, oh, let's get flour everywhere. See, I would just level it off personally, and then that could be my cup. We've already got a little bit extra in there, but let's not talk about that. Let's do another one. Maybe slightly less in there, seeing as I overfilled the first one. There we go. And we are after 2 1/4 cups. So out comes Pluto to help. Oh, this is a very little cup. Let's go with that there. Okie smoky. Ooh. There was a bit of water on the pan underneath from me cleaning it. So if it does spit, that's what you can hear. It's actually underneath because it's an electric hob, which Tara's not the biggest fan of. But we roll. So we are going to want a teaspoon of this, which Tara is going to completely eyeball, which is the bicarbonate of soda. A teaspoon of sea salt. I am actually using my favourite salt, which is a Cornish sea salt. This is so good and it goes on everything. The butter has just started bubbling, and if you can see, it's got that cloudy consistency just over the top. So if you leave it a little bit longer, it'll all go cloudy and then it will start to brown further. A cup of chocolate chips. I am just using the supermarket generic ones, and to be honest, we're just gonna go with the whole pack because this is not even a cup, but that'll do. Don't think we need to go overboard on there. Now we need 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. So if I separate the egg white from the egg yolk, at least that's done and ready. This is the way I do it. I know not everybody does it this way, but I just think it prevents breaking of the shell. And while we're at it, we'll put this one in here too. So 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. Okie dokie. Sugar. I do have a little bit of sugar to use up first, so I'm going to do that. And then we'll get the new one going. And we need 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. So actually those chocolate chips would have done better staying in their pack. Just going to put that in the 1/2 cup one because we don't need the 1/2 cup for anything, and we'll just pour those out after and fill up our cup with the sugar again. Now I don't know about you, but sugar packets just never open correctly for me, so there we are. There wasn't really much left in there anyway, so never mind. See, so I'm just going to open it like this. Fun fact for you, that brown sugar is just white sugar and molasses. It does always make me laugh on cooking shows when someone says, if you haven't got any brown sugar, just add some molasses to your white sugar. If you haven't got brown sugar, I highly doubt you've got molasses in your cupboard. But you never know, you might. So it could be a quick fix for you, or it could just be an insult. That heat is very much coming off of that butter. So that is Tara not paying attention because that was too much. So I needed 1 1/4 and I did sort of 1 1/2 to 2, which is fine. I'm going to put it back in the bag that the sugar will go into. Let's go for this much. Now, I do tend to make a lot of vegan recipes also, and they tend to require a lot of sugar because they don't have a whole lot of flavour from other things most of the time, and that's where they try and get their sweetness from. But I also find that if you just don't quite put that much sugar in, that actually it tastes exactly the same. So that's what I do, especially with my vegan banana bread, which I will show you sometime. I'm hoping actually to make a pumpkin version of it this year. I'll show you that you don't have to put the full amount in and it still tastes absolutely delicious. So we've got our butter browning, we've got our sugar, our brown sugar and our granulated sugar. We've got 1 egg, 1 egg yolk, a teaspoon of salt is in the flour, vanilla, that's what we're missing. Pop the vanilla in when we're ready. Baking soda, flour and chocolate chips. So we've got everything weighed out now. It is just a case of waiting on this butter. So much foam. It's really good to do it on a white background because you can really see just how nutty and brown it is before it gets to a burnt stage. Although with this much foam, can't see a lot. Oh, see that beautiful colour popping through? Oh. If I just stop stirring for a second. Oh, it smells divine. I absolutely wish you had smell-o-vision for this. Because, oh my goodness. That smells good. Wow. So the foam should dissipate soon and we'll be left with the brown butter bits at the bottom, which is exactly what we want. We just don't want it to burn. It smells amazing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that that might be done. So if I just take it off the heat, and we will try and get the bubbles to dissipate so I can just see the colour. Yes, I think that's done. Perfect. Okay, so that is going to be beautifully nutty and golden in our cookies, which really elevates this recipe. Which you can see under all those beautiful brown bits. That's exactly what we're after from our browned butter. Perfect. So we need to leave that to cool before we can get on with the rest of it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pour it into a different dish and then hopefully that will make it cool down a little quicker. And then once that's cooled down, we can stir in the rest of the ingredients, get them into beautiful balls, and get them in the oven ready to bake down into beautiful, tasty, nutty goodness. There, that's better view. Can you see those beautiful brown bits under there? That's exactly what we want. Exactly. Okie dokie. So, if we pour it into here, get that cooling down, we can get to work on everything else. Okay, so the butter is not quite solidified, but I'm hungry, so we're gonna go with it like this. It's definitely getting there because it's taking a little more for the spatula to wade through. So we're gonna roll with that. I have lined a sheet just with a silicone mat. I have another spare one just in case I need to roll it. So we're going to go in with our sugar, all of the sugar, pop that in, and then in goes our beautiful nutty butter. In goes that nutty butter. Make sure you get all those brown bits, that's the bit that's giving it the flavour and the smell. Butter and sugar in together, let's bring that down. Oh, such a nice dark, rich colour. Because it was quite liquid, it's going to be liquid until we add some flour and bits of oil in there. So amazing. So now I'm going to add the egg and the egg yolk. Plop those in. Now, vanilla is something that I measure with my heart. This is my favourite one. It's the Madagascan vanilla bean paste. I think it has the best flavour and intensity without tasting almondy, as some of the vanilla extracts can get a little almondy, and I think that ruins it. So I'm going to give nice big juicy squeeze. Put that back on. Now another top tip is most recipes will then tell you to mix your eggs and your sugar together. That is one surefire way to get a curdled recipe. So without adding all of the flour, if you just add a tablespoon or two, sorry, just add a tablespoon or two of flour. Just when you give it that mix, it just prevents it from curdling. Increase the speed a little. You can already see it slightly coming away from the bowl, which is perfect. Give it a little scrape down. And then we're going to add the rest of the flour. I, for one, unless I'm making something like a pavlova or something where my icing sugar or my flour needs to be incredibly fine, I don't ever sieve. I do it from a height and nothing has ever gone wrong. So take that with what you will. So if we get that flour in, start on low. A little bit. Now just before it starts to form into a complete clump, into a ball, I'm going to add in my chocolate chips. So I'm not over mixing it once it is all combined. So if we then get those in, as you can see, it's starting to come fully away from the bowl. Just make sure you've got it all. There are a few bits at the bottom, so we're going to give it just a little knead together to make sure that it has all come. But the fact that it has all fallen off the spatula is great. Not the spatula, sorry, the whisk paddle, as you will. We don't need that anymore. So if I take it off there, close this and push away. I'm just going to use my spatula and just get those bottom bits perfectly mixed in. And then we are simply, I would usually use an ice cream scoop for this, but my ice cream scoop is still at my mum's house. After moving to our new house, I will get everything again. So for now, we're going for unidentified balls of about this shape. Really, they don't have to be perfect. They are just going to go down into sort of a little mounded cookie is the plan. So just keep them coming. And you can see from using the brown butter and using the brown sugar, it is quite a dark cookie dough. That is what gives it all the beautiful flavour. You get the caramel from using the brown sugar and that gorgeous nuttiness from using the brown butter. So get those all on here. There's a chance we'll get them all on one pan. If I was doing this to sell or something that needed to be a bit more uniform, I would of course be weighing this, but these are purely for myself and my husband. I am seeing a friend tomorrow, so I'm sure she's not going to decline a cookie invitation. We're actually going to my favourite garden centre ever that I've been to. Anyway, I do have a few on the list for Vlogmas that I've not been to yet, but this particular one is absolutely awesome. And we're going to look at all the autumn and the fall decorations as she's never been. So we're going to do that tomorrow, and I'm sure she wouldn't say no to a cookie. I'll just pop those up a bit more. We might be able to fit in an extra row. If they do join together when they bake, I'm not mad about it. I will just reform them when it comes out. So let me just get into the bowl because these are the bits that didn't fully incorporate. Just want to make sure they're wet enough to hold their shape. Now the recipe called for even more chocolate chips, but I actually think any more than this would have been too many. So I am very happy with the amount we've got. And then these are just going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes. They don't take a huge amount of time. I'm going to keep an eye on them because I've not made them in this oven before. My last 3 are going to be just a little bit smaller than all the others, but that's okay. They'll be slightly more chewy when they come out. So this is the final result on the cookies. Look lovely, ready to go on into the oven. So I'm going to pop them in, start with about 15 minutes, and then we'll see where we go from there. So Some of them are quite big, so they may take a little bit longer, but they will be absolutely delicious when they come out. This is one of my favourite cookie recipes if I'm doing a chocolate chip cookie. So now I've finished that, I'm actually going to start making prep on dinner. It is about 5 o'clock, but we didn't really have lunch, so I'm going to make some dinner for us, and we are going to have a leek mushroom and rotisserie chicken pie for dinner, which is a new one. I've never made it before, but we had some rotisserie chicken and we were trying to think of recipes that we could use that would be delicious, tasty. I was going with the autumn vibe, but as I said, it's quite warm, so we'll probably have, you know, some spring vegetables or something with it, broccoli, sugar snap peas, that sort of thing, but I will get to making that now. Oh, they look good. Not long now. Final result on the cookies. They are looking good. Look at that. Oh, I dropped some. That's so good.